This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. Russia's defense ministry on Wednesday blamed the illegal use of mobile phones by its soldiers for a deadly Ukrainian missile strike that it said killed 89 servicemen, raising the reported death toll significantly. Moscow previously said 63 Russian soldiers were killed in the weekend strike. The ministry's reaction came amid mounting anger among some Russian commentators who are increasingly vocal about what they see as a half-hearted campaign in Ukraine. Most of the anger on social media was directed at military commanders rather than Russian President Vladimir Putin, who has not commented publicly on the attack, which was another blow after major battlefield retreats in recent months. The Russian Defense Ministry said 4 Ukrainian missiles hit a temporary Russian barracks in a vocational college in Makivka, twin city of the Russian-occupied regional capital of Donetsk in eastern Ukraine. Although an official probe has been launched, the main reason for the attack was clearly the illegal mass use of mobile phones by servicemen, the ministry said. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol said on Wednesday he would consider suspending a 2018 inter-Korean military pact if the North violates its airspace again, his office said, amid tension over a recent intrusion by North Korean drones. Yoon made the comment after being briefed on countermeasures to North Korean drones that crossed into the south last week, calling for building an overwhelming response capability that goes beyond proportional levels, according to his press secretary, Kim Hyun-hae. The 2018 deal, sealed on the sidelines of a summit between North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in, calls for ceasing all hostile acts, creating a no-fly zone around the border, and removing landmines and guard posts within the heavily fortified demilitarized zone. The government has not said how many mines and posts were removed, citing security concerns. Abandoning the pact could mean the return of the guard post, live fire drills in the former no-fly zone, and propaganda broadcasts across the border, all of which drew angry responses from Pyongyang. Before the pact, inter-Korean relations have been testy for decades, but have grown even more tense since Yoon took office in May, pledging a tougher line against Pyongyang. The United Arab Emirates and China have called for a UN Security Council meeting after Israel's far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir entered the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in a widely denounced move. The council is expected to convene on Thursday, diplomats told Top Accolade News late on Tuesday. Ben-Gvir's actions drew fierce condemnation across the world, with Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey and the UAE joining the Palestinians in condemning him. The Palestinian leadership called the intrusion an unprecedented provocation. The Palestinian Foreign Ministry said it strongly condemns the storming of Al-Aqsa Mosque by the extremist minister Ben-Gvir and views it as an unprecedented provocation and a dangerous escalation of the conflict. Meanwhile, Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh accused Ben-Gvir of staging the trip as part of a bid to turn the shrine into a Jewish temple, a goal of many within Israel's far-right. Hamas, the group that governs the besieged Gaza Strip, warned that Ben-Gvir's move amounts to crossing a red line. The Israeli military said a rocket had been fired from Gaza on Tuesday night, but that it had landed in the Palestinian territory. An ultranationalist monk in Myanmar, who was once dubbed the face of Buddhist terror over his role in promoting religious hatred against Muslims, has received a prestigious national award as the country's military rulers celebrate independence from Britain. The monk, Wirafu, was awarded the honorific Tiri Pianchi title for his outstanding work for the good of the Union of Myanmar, the military's information team said on Tuesday, ahead of the country's Independence Day celebrations. Presented with the award by the country's military ruler, General Min Aung Hlaing, Wirafu was among hundreds of people receiving honorary titles and other forms of recognition as the country on Wednesday marked 75 years of independence from Britain. Wirafu has long been known for his ultranationalist and anti-Islam rhetoric, particularly against Myanmar's Rohingya Muslim minority. In 2013, he appeared on the cover of Time magazine under the title The Face of Buddhist Terror. global health officials tried to determine the fact of China's raging COVID-19 outbreak and how to prevent a further spread as the Communist Party's mouthpiece newspaper on Wednesday rallied citizens for a final victory over the virus. China's axing of its stringent virus curbs last month has unleashed COVID on a 1.4 billion population that has little natural immunity, having been shielded from the virus since it emerged in the central city of Wuhan 3 years ago. Many funeral homes and hospitals say they are overwhelmed, and international health experts predict at least 1 million deaths in China this year. But China has reported 5 or fewer deaths a day since the policy U-turn. China has rejected international skepticism of its statistics as politically motivated attempt to smear its achievement in fighting the virus. In quote, China and the Chinese people will surely win the final victory against the epidemic, the People's Daily, the Communist Party's official newspaper, said in an editorial reporting criticism of China's 3 years of isolation, lockdowns and testing that triggered historic protests late last year. Having lifted the restrictions, Beijing is hitting back against decisions by some countries to insist that visitors from China show pre-departure COVID tests, saying the rules were unreasonable and lacked a scientific basis. That is the size of top accurate global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy midweek.